So as you guys know by now, I think this is coming to the end of 2023, and if you're probably watching this video, it's a bit of a late upload for me, it will be 2024. And everyone is fitness crazy, especially when it comes to January. Now, what do we see on the shelves and in our diets a lot in January? And that is the low-fat options. And I'm here to tell you to don't have the low-fat options. Never ever eat the low-fat options. Don't go for the low-fat options. It's bullshit. And here's why it's bullshit. Because, you see, the low-fat option industry, yes, there is an industry like that. The low-fat option industry is based around calorie counting. And the reason for that is this. What they are basically doing is they are taking out natural ingredients from certain products, like let's say milk, or let's say, what else is low-fat? Cheese. What else do they do low-fat? That's like a dairy product. Yogurt. So they do yogurt, cheese, milk. There's loads of things that they do low-fat now. Of course, I don't really eat low-fat products, so I don't really know much about them. But I do know this much. It's all based around the calorie counting system. And the reason for that is this, very simply. They told you guys that carbohydrates have less calories. So they had this thing they made up called calories, and they said in carbohydrates, every gram of carbohydrate, 1 gram of carbohydrate, there's 4 calories. For every 1 gram of fat, there's 9 calories. I know, go figure. The thing that's more benefit for you and has more quote-unquote calories is supposed to be worse or deemed bad in society. I have no idea why. I mean, I would be like, it's got more calories in it, so therefore, if I was a calorie counter, I'd be wanting to consume as much calories as possible from natural whole foods. So I'd be like, well, this has more calories. Of course, this is going to be good for you. Why would you substitute something that's natural, take out the goodness, and introduce sugar to make it taste the same? It's absolute bullshit. Now, do you see where I'm going with this? So, the point I'm trying to say is, these things, these foods that you would normally eat, that wouldn't usually spike your insulin. Let's just use the yogurt, for example, okay? So let's use yogurt. Now, it wouldn't normally spike your insulin if it was high in fat, high in protein. But the calorie content of a high-fat, high-protein meal is going to be, let's say, 500. Now, if we take the fat out of the product and we replace the fat with sugar, the sugar is now going to spike your insulin, but the calorie content is going to be half of that of what? In fact, less than half of that of what the fat content would have been. So 4 calories for sugar and 9 calories for fat. Now you have a yogurt which has less calories, which is going to spike your insulin more, which in the long run is going to make you add more fat, which is another reason why it's absolutely garbage. Sorry if the video just cut up there. I just had an important call that I had to take, so I've kind of lost track of time. I don't know what I was talking about. I was telling you guys that they replaced the fat with the carbohydrates so it fits into their calorie situation, the calorie macro counting garbage, which is, as we know, bullshit. I need to blur that word out. Right, one other thing that I just wanted to explain about in this video, and that is the low calorie syrups that your guys are consuming, and you think it's got some sort of magical thing inside it. It's just the same thing as ketchup, but it's very low sugar. It's the same thing as, what do you call it? Maple syrup. It's the same thing as honey. It's the same thing as all the... Listen, stop that shit, okay? If you want to have that, just have the natural ingredient stuff. So if you get honey or you get maple syrup, the natural maple syrup and natural honey, that is going to spike your insulin less. Yes, you heard it. Less than the actual aspartame garbage that they put inside it, because those fake sugars that they have, the sugar alcohols that they use, those are going to wreak havoc on your insides and eventually spike your insulin in such a rapid way, more so than the actual natural honey, natural maple syrup will. So stay the hell away from those fake bullshit syrups. I think the company's called Walden Farms, and if anyone's watching this, and I do get very popular on YouTube, then you guys have had it. But you know what I'm trying to say? I don't even know how they're still in business. But point is, don't use that shit. If you want to have ketchup, get the full fat ketchup. It's okay. You're only going to use a little bit. If you want to have syrup, you want to have maple syrup, you want to have honey, use the normal one. If you want to have jam, use the standard jam. Make sure it's got as much fruit in there as possible. Have the natural raw ingredients. Do not calorie count. Do not look for the back of the labels to see which one has less fats and more carbohydrates and which one has, oh, if it's got higher fat, it's going to have more calories. That shit. There's a lot of swearing I need to blur out in this video. Anyway, sorry for the mumble jumble video. Hopefully you got you some value. Comment down below if I missed anything. Like and please subscribe.